Arelis, I don't see it. I don't see it. Hi, baby.
Brandon, on the left side of your screen, there.
Got it.
What?
Okay, excuse me 1 second. There are some people who are saying they can't see the video. If you can't see the video, look on the left side of your screen. There's a tab that says YouTube. If you hit the play button, you'll be able to see the YouTube video. Does everybody see?
following week, I did
We don't hear you. Okay, we can, I think the video's off, Arella, so we can hear you now.
My steak and the potatoes in the pan. Yeah. Just put it in the refrigerator.
No, we cannot hear you.
I put all the sauces and stuff in the refrigerator. Okay. But I put all the dry stuff. Is there an
No, we can't hear you.
take? What about
Oh, you may, yeah. I think you may have to take it off if you want to go live because we can't hear you. If you want to take it off, that's fine, and come back to the video. I know where you stopped it, and we can go back in.
This is stupid, Dad. It gives the answer for this one.
Okay, everyone else can.
So it just gives you.
Arelis, we still can't hear you. Oh, you have to press push to talk on the video.
Who likes Google Hangouts? Hmm.
Someone moved off my building and my partner's.
Oh, there we go. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, excellent. Yeah, Arelis, we can't hear you. All right, so how do you explain to them to say use it and this is why? Triberr is really weird. I have a hard time explaining it myself, and it's been 2 years I've been trying to figure out how to explain it. Right? It's a really weird social network. It's much deeper than Twitter or Facebook. So like Twitter, I follow you, but you don't have to follow me back. It's unidirectional. Facebook, I friend you, you have to friend me back. So it's bidirectional. With Triberr, it's way deeper than that. So with Triberr, I not only have to tribe up with you, and you have to tribe up with me, but I also have to consider how your content fits my audience. And you have to consider how my content fits your audience. So other than that, it's just a bunch of bloggers, and we think that online bloggers are the celebrities, right? Bloggers are the purposeful audience builders. So when another blogger shares your stuff, it's a lot more meaningful than, let's say, you know, your buddy that may have just gotten a Twitter account or some other person that's not necessarily a blogger, right? So when you surround yourself with a circle of bloggers, and you know Triberr makes it very easy for them to share your content, then that's a lot more meaningful than, you know, I don't know, some other person. It's all good, but these bloggers create this ripple effect that's really beneficial. So I don't know. That's how I explain it. I know it's not very good.
Aurelis, try talking again. No?
Biba, is it your microphone that or your voice I'm hearing?
No, this is Brandy that you're hearing.
Brandy. Where are you?
Oh, yeah.
The picture.
The picture.
Gotcha. All right, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah.
So I have a quick question. If Aurelis, if you hang up, will it mess up the whole group chat, or can you hang up and sign back in? Oh wait, I can't hear you. Type it.
I don't know what happens if she leaves.
I don't know because I did it on this account, maybe. Okay, so we can go back to the video. We were at 9:07. Okay.
Let's do it.
So she's gonna try signing out, y'all.
Okay.
Someone said no.
Someone said noi.
Oh.
If she signs out, we're all going to lose the hangout. Is that what you're saying, Jillian? The hangout will go off air. I think we need to troubleshoot Aurelis's microphone.
Yeah, she's the one with all the info. Well, besides you, of course. Oh, you know what, Aurelis? I think your microphone went off because you had to add the video. So can you go into settings and check?
I just did that.
Oh, you're there.
I'm where? Can you hear me now?
Oh, we can hear you now.
I changed the microphone to external and then changed it back to internal.
All right.
It's on my end that you can hear me, but you guys are saying you can't.
We can hear you now.
All right. I figure since we have Dino on, I'll try to explain it how I think, and then later on, if you want at your leisure, you can go through the actual step-by-step images that I did in the walkthrough of the Triberr site, just to get you started, because I talk about where you go to sign in, how you sign in, where you go to set up your blog, so that way the feed goes to the Triberr stream, and I show you all that stuff. But I'm not sure if you guys see on your end, like the little stuff I added in where, you know, I zoom in on a particular box that I'm pointing at, or I explain it further in comments on the side. Did you guys see that? Because I didn't see it on my end. So if you watch this separately on YouTube, you should see that. But for me, Triberr, you don't have to know how it works to use it. As long as you go and you set up your your blog feed and you are in a tribe. For Pushing Lovely, we have one already set up, so you're not by yourself. We automatically throw you in there, and we'll walk you through it. I'll walk you through it in terms of what you need to do. The biggest thing to remember when you're on that site, and I think the reason why a lot of people don't get it is because they don't go on. If you stop in 5 minutes a day, not even, to just go through the Triberr stream, and approve posts, then that's posts that you're putting out for other people, but then that's also people that see that you're doing them, so they'll help you out on your end. And I find that the more people's posts I put out, the more people will put out my posts. With the different tribes, it's important that you're in a tribe that has the same type of topics that you write about. And they just updated that feature, and I show it in the YouTube video of how to find people who are in your circle of what you write about. So if you write about business, like Janine writes about business, you click on business, and people who write in that cat. Yes, Dina.
I just want to speak to that if I can.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So first of all, choose your tribe mates wisely, right? And wisely has anything to do with the number of Twitter followers. Has nothing to do with that. Trust me. It has to do with the quality of the content on their blog. People who write quality content will have quality followers, even if it's only 100 of them. Anyways, tribing up based on a subject matter, on a category or a topic, is the most obvious method for tribing up, right? There's nothing wrong with it. It's, kind of a first entry into this tribe world, and it makes perfect sense. But don't limit yourself to just topic-based tribes, right? There's any number of other ways that you can tribe up. Location-based tribe, right? So when I was in Tucson, I had a tribe of Tucson bloggers. Some of them blogged about social media, some real estate, some were restaurant reviewers, like food bloggers and whatnot. Some were doing other stuff. So there's all kinds of different methods. Values-based tribes, right? I could be a Democrat tribing up with other Democrats who loosely write about politics or whatever, right? And another tribe might be a tribe of Republicans or whatever, right? So there's like all these values-based tribes. There's posting frequency, right? If you're posting 5 times per day and I post 1 time per week, right, then there's going to be a kind of an imbalance, right, in everything. So there could be a posting frequency tribe. It could be which network you want to share your stuff to. So by default, it's like Twitter, but you can create a Facebook sharing tribe. So everyone who joins that tribe, it's kind of joined under the premise that we're going to be sharing this stuff on Facebook. I could go on and on, but so just to sort of open up your minds and give you some ideas about where this can go. Sorry.
No, that's actually a really good point. When I started my tribe, I started it out within maybe the first couple of days of actually signing up, and I kind of thought of it as Survivor, and it was something that I read for someone who actually tried to describe it, and they were like, think of it as Survivor. If you need something to get done, you need to talk to the people that are on the island with you, because if not, you're going to die. And that's what a lot of people do, they die. You have to communicate with other tribe members, and the community on Triberr is awesome. You post a question in a bonfire, someone responds to you right away, whether it's Dan or Dino themselves. They're always responding right away to questions that I ask, or if I'm having an issue or if something disappears, they're like, yes, it's coming back, we're fixing that. They're always on top of things. And they're always thinking one step ahead, like the whole situation with, the people that are in your tribe that have, the 5 posts per day, because they're posting coupons or they're posting discounts. Whereas the person who, is just startup blogger, they might be doing one per week, or they might be doing two per week, and then they're overwhelmed because they're sharing 1,000 posts of this person, but yet they've only shared two of yours because it's only been 2 weeks. So those type of things go into account. The nice thing about it too is I have a following now in the UK because someone invited me to a tribe that's all UK members, which is awesome because that was something that was in the back of my head. I have a whole bunch of followers in the US. How do I go worldwide? And that's the perfect way to do it. Whether you're looking for, you can put that in one of the bonfires. Listen, I'm trying to get more, maybe you're looking for people in Japan. Now with Google Translation, someone can read your blog in another language, which is awesome. So
India.
think of that, have Google Translation on your blog too, because I think I just added that a little while ago because other people in other countries don't necessarily speak English. They might speak another language, but with that tool, you can get an audience, in Russia. Not that they might not speak English, but there are. Does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions? I guess we could use the last 20 minutes since Dino is on here. If you had any questions about how things worked or something a little bit more complicated that I couldn't answer for you myself.
Aurelius, can you answer Joyce's question? She says, so I need to check in on each tribe each day.
The nice thing about the tribal stream is that you'll see everyone there all together. You can filter it by tribe. So, let's say for example, my tribe, I will go to their post first. So I'll go to the filter that has the list of tribes. I'll go to my tribe, and I'll do their post first. Once they're all done, then I'll go back to the regular filter where it puts everyone in. You can also filter it by oldest to shortest. So let's say someone who wrote a post 4 days ago would appear first as opposed to someone who just posted something 2 hours ago. And that's important too because the farther out that a post is that you haven't approved, then it'll just disappear. I think it's after 7 days if you haven't approved it yet. So you want to try to get to the older posts first. And I like that because it's almost like a domino effect. I'm sharing it first on my end, but that post might still be shared 2 to 3 weeks from now, which is awesome. So it's like a little trickle effect. That post is always out in circulation. And then you'll have people retweeting that too. I noticed that a lot of Triberr members, when they see that format, because it's a little bit different than what you see if someone shares it from their blog, that they'll share that for you. So there's a lot of retweeting going on. So your post is constantly being seen, and you never know who's seeing it. The other thing to think about too when you're adding people to your tribe or when you're joining tribes is their reach. So for example, someone who's just starting out might have 10 friends on Twitter. So that's 10 more people that are going to see your post. But if you pick someone who maybe has 5,000 Twitter followers, that's 5,000 more potential people who might be seeing your post when they share it. So think about reach. And that's outlined very simply in the Triberr system. So you'll see their name, you'll see their Twitter accounts, you'll see their reach, you'll see how many tribes they're in. And the more interaction you got, the more people will invite you to different things. And like Dino said, don't limit yourself just to what you write about. Give your Twitter followers or your Facebook followers or your LinkedIn followers or your Stumble Upon followers.
You're breaking up, Aurelius. We lost you.
Can you hear me?
I think we can hear you now.
Can you
Say
hear
it
me?
again.
Yeah, Google some. Well, there's a winter storm here too.
We can hear you now.
Yeah. So that's also something to think about. Your reach. How many people are actually going to be seeing you? And then, again, not limiting yourself to one particular type of tribe. Like, try to be in a couple of tribes that, share a range of different topics, not just one. And that'll give a variation for all your to have something different to read, not just the same thing over and over again.
Aurelis, can you just for
You have
our
to check in every day, but you should at least say it again.
I was going to say, can you just talk about the importance of, reading other people's stuff and why you would want to share other people's posts and things like that online?
One of the things that I showed in the video was how sometimes some of the posts that people put out, it might be something that will interest you. So this past week, since we've been talking a lot about SEO, I found a post on SEO. We've been talking about getting our numbers up for Facebook engagement. Someone wrote a post about that. And it's good to, spread the word that's giving advertising for that person, and more than likely they'll return the favor. And of course, get more people to see your stuff. It's also good to develop relationships because you never know who they know that can help you out later. So like that person with SEO, they might be able to do a chat with us on SEO because they get it. Or the person who did the Facebook engagement, because when we're working with brands and we want to be making money on the side for writing, those things are important to know. Audience, who's actually coming to your site is the biggest thing. And then from there, how many people are following you on Facebook, how many people are following you on Twitter, how many people are you associated with on LinkedIn. So all that becomes a factor. Joyce, your question about do you have to check in every day? You don't have to. You should check in at least once a week. You also have to be careful with your chief. Like in my tribe, if you're not sharing something at least once per week from someone in the group, then you get kicked out. Because the entire point is to help us push each other up and to share our stuff. So if you're just sitting there because your newsfeed is going and other people are sharing your stuff, you need to also share stuff. Sherry, I'm trying to set up my account and it's asking me for RSS feed. Where exactly would I find that? I feel like I should know that. I think I'm sleepy.
I can answer that.
Go ahead, Dina.
So RSS is one of those freaky, weird things that as bloggers we ought to know, but a lot of us don't know. Sherry, do you have a blogger.com blog or is it a WordPress blog? WordPress. Okay, great. So often your RSS feed is simply your domain name.com/feed. So if you type that in, you should see some weird stuff come up. And if it makes any kind of sense, it's probably your RSS feed. Yeah, that looks right. Let me check it. Nope, that's not it. I'm going to try /RSS. Sometimes that's the right thing. And no, that's not it. So let me try and see if there's a RSS icon on your blog. It's usually that, I don't even know how to explain it. It's this weird icon.
A little orange icon.
Yeah, there it is. It's right on your blog. Yeah. So this is your feed. That's your feed right there. It's a little like...
I see. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, so let me take this opportunity and say that, guys, we are ridiculously accessible. So if you guys ever need any help with anything, that's my Twitter. This is my email. And so for support questions, you can always go to email support.triberr.com. And we're always in Bonfires, which is just a forum. So if you guys ever need anything, just, get in touch.
Great. Thank you so much, Dino. Guys, do you have any other questions? Dino for president. Yay.
Right on. How are you guys connected to Collective Bias?
Well, I work with them. I'm a community manager, and then a lot of these bloggers are in the community.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I had dinner with Ted Rubin and
John.
John.
Yeah.
Actually, last couple of few weeks, we've been going out for dinners a lot.
Yeah. CV family dinners. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of fun.
Well, thank you so much for jumping in with us. Arelis is like, I mean, you can see, like, she's the bomb. So,
She is.
if people ask you and they want like an in-depth thing, please share her video out.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be on YouTube.
How does Triberr differ from Google Plus Circles? It's very different. It's totally different from everything that's out there. So, same thing could be said about Google Groups, right? Because it's kind of the same thing. So when you put something in a Google Circle, it kind of stays there, right? People can comment on it if they want to or whatever, right? But it's just there. With Triberr, we import your posts automatically, so you don't have to post anything, right? We import it from your blog automatically, and then we present it in a tribal stream so that people can share it out to Twitter, to Google+, to Facebook, to LinkedIn, so on and so forth. So Triberr is like this middle layer between your blog and all the other social networks, right? I hope that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any concern that tweeting out all of these things and filling up your feed with real conversations?
Yeah, you should be concerned with that.
You should. Depending on how you want your Twitter account set up. I belong to 9 tribes, so I had to bring it back to 30 minutes as opposed to 2 hours for a post, because if not, then no one would be seen. I am still able to have conversations with people, and sometimes some of the conversations are started because of what I'm sharing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let me speak to that, because this question has been coming up for the last 2 years since we've been doing this. The idea is not to prevent you from engaging. The idea is to give you more time to engage, right? Because we make all the sharing and curating and all that stuff way easier, way faster. We bring the content to you. You share what's interesting to your audience. We make it really easy, really fast, which then enables you to spend more time engaging with your audience. So they're not mutually exclusive. We're just trying to make it easier to actually have more engagement.
And Joyce, another thing, so I was concerned about that because I'm on Twitter a lot less than I was before, is you are in charge of how many posts you want to push out. Yeah. So if you want to push out 10 posts every, and have a post go out every 30 minutes or every 2 hours, then you can absolutely do that. And I've done that. And there are some days when I don't push any post out because I look at my stream and it's just, posts from Triberr because I haven't had a chance to get on and engage.
Yeah. Or days that you have a Twitter chat and you don't want to go to jail, you might cut back your post time. I do that because I'm always in jail. The day before, I'll cut it back to like maybe.
Ooh.
I think we lost her.
Yeah, I know that they have a storm.
Okay then.
Okay, you're back.
Yeah, it's okay. I apologize. We're not having good weather today. It's a bit of a winter storm. Um, but I forgot what I was talking about.
You were saying like if
What
you're
was I saying?
doing a Twitter party and you don't want to get pushed out.
Oh yeah, you don't want to. So I'll cut it back. I'll spread out the time longer between posts, so that way when I do the hour chat, I don't have to worry about them taking up part of that hour.
Yeah.
So that's always
50,
something.
45 minutes, I think, is a really reasonable space time thing.
Give me a second. I do have a second Twitter account. I do. It's called DJ Rel in Jail.
That's funny.
Because it never fails that I'm always in there. So yeah, so it schedules your tweets out. So like, let's say I approve your post. In 45 minutes, it'll go out on my Twitter stream. And then if I approve another post, it'll go out 45 minutes after that one went out. Yeah. So it spaces it out without you having to think about what time you're doing it. It's just automatically every 45 minutes another one is shared.
Yeah. So you can approve, like 10, 15 posts, and then Triberr just spaces them out.
Yep. You literally have to spend like maybe 5 minutes and you're done. So don't think about you have another thing to add to your list. It's something super simple. Like think about going to the gym and all you have to do is lift your finger and you lose like 100 pounds.
Nice. That's exactly what we're trying to do.
It's awesome. It's such a great. What is Twitter?
Where's that gym?
That's another chat. That's another chat.
Nice.
That's not Planet Fitness.
Not Planet Fitness.
Not Planet Fitness.
Yeah. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum.
Those commercials are hilarious.
They are.
Hilarious.
Joyce, you're saying you're figuring out how this will affect your scheduled tweets. Well, your Hootsuite tweets will still go out, obviously, and then your other tweets will just go out. And I think people are sometimes concerned about having too many tweets go out, like just tweets in general, not just Triberr tweets. But the reality is, I mean, it's social media, and they won't be redundant unless because you'll be able to go into Triberr and pick which post you're putting out.
Yeah.
So if you're not putting out, like this is actually a way that you wouldn't have to even go to your friends' blogs, although you would want to do that, and tweet from there. You would just tweet from there. You could just go to their blog and comment at your leisure.
Yeah. So let me speak to that for a second. I think what you're going to find is that you're going to start using Hootsuite less and less, and you're going to start using Triberr more and more. Because with Hootsuite, it's just you tweeting other people's stuff without sort of an opportunity for them to reciprocate. When you do it in Triberr, every time you do it, it gets recorded, and the other person knows you've shared their stuff, and the possibility of reciprocation is so much greater than in any other, format. So, but I mean, in terms of any kind of conflict, there is no conflict, especially if you space out your shares on Triberr every like 45 minutes. You'll be perfectly fine. What's wrong, Jillian?
What's wrong? Twitter is up for you in timeout for a while. It's around
100 per minute? What?
100.
Okay, that was a side conversation.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
We were talking about what put you in Twitter jail, and I was like, wait a second, what? 100 tweets per minute? Nobody can do that. So it's 100. It's like 100 per hour or something.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I forgot.
Per hour.
What is Twitter jail? How many does it take?
100 per hour.
Yeah. It seems like it's a lot to reach, but you can definitely do it easily if you get way into it.
I do it once a month.
Nice.
Okay, I was looking at my Triberr, and I have 250 tribe members of all of these tribes. And I'm not discriminating. I post practically everything people put up. And I haven't had any problem with Twitter jail or people complaining that there's too much junk on my timeline.
Yeah.
And I do get into some good conversation posting posts from other people. So that's been kind of interesting to me.
Yeah.
It also helps you eliminate having to come up with tweets. Like let's say for example, you don't have the extra 5 to 10 minutes to interact with people on Twitter and have conversations. Your name is still being put out there. They're still seeing it because you have the tweet set up through Triberr. And then from there you can create conversations because people might find a particular topic that you shared interesting. Because I know a lot of the retweets that I get aren't even my posts. They're other people's posts of things that they thought was cool to, for me to post and read. And some people are like, thank you for, sharing that. So you got a lot of community and a lot of relationship building with the posts that you do out of Triberr because it's not something necessarily that you write about, which I love.
What are some of your most popular tribes? I don't know, like most popular tribes on Triberr or some of my favorite tribes? How do you mean? Oh, largest? So here's what we're doing, right? So the number of tribe mates per tribe is 30 unless you have a Prime account. So you can have up to 30 full-fledged members. And then you can have as many followers as you want. And followers get to share your stuff and read your stuff, but they don't get to contribute posts into the tribe, right? So if you build a really quality tribe, right, that gets a lot of followers, that's awesome, right? So it behooves you to build quality tribes. It all goes back to forget about everything else, just to look at the person's blog, because that's going to tell you everything you need to know, right? If they have a good blog, they write quality content, that tells you everything you need to know. In terms of like reach and members and the followers that they have, all of that stuff is so not important. We have the numbers, we can prove it, all right? You can see when somebody, we can see, somebody shares my post who has 50,000 followers on Twitter. They share my post and it gets like 8 clicks. And then someone with 800 followers on Twitter shares that same post and I get 25, 26 visits to my blog.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with numbers. Right? It has everything to do with quality, right? And once you grow your Twitter following, Facebook following, whatever, past a certain point, it just doesn't scale. You can't engage with that many people in any kind of meaningful way. And that's the only thing that people respond, engagement, right? Show people you care, and then they're going to care about you. That's it. Right? That's all you need to know about social media. Yeah. Numbers to immediately find quality groups. I don't know. I don't think in terms of numbers. I think in terms of content, and content is such a subjective thing. You'll just have to, there's a discover feature. You can look at different tribes. You can pull a different category or whatever. Add a category that you're interested in, and then peruse through some tribes, see if you recognize someone, you can see their posts, see what you like. I can certainly help you if you tell me what you're interested in, like what subject or whatnot, but I don't have anything like ready-made to share.
Does that answer your question, Viva?
Yeah. Are we just blogging to reach other bloggers? Yeah. So what we're doing is imagine your post as a pebble, right? And when you blog, when you publish a new post on your blog, you toss a pebble in a lake, and it hits the lake, right? What we're trying to do with Triberr is we want to create a ripple. But in order to create a third ripple, you had to create a second ripple. And that second ripple is these other bloggers who are purposeful audience builders. And their audience, you know, they cultivate an audience. So when these other bloggers see your post, they find it to be a quality post, and then they share it out. It creates a third ripple, which then their followers may create a fourth ripple, and so on and so forth. So bloggers are some of the greatest content consumers online. So yeah, we are essentially blogging for other bloggers, but we're also hoping that these other bloggers will help us create this ripple. Sponsorship, I don't want my numbers to appear inflated when I'm really trying to reach moms. Oh, so just tribe up with other mom bloggers, right? They have the kind of audience you're trying to reach, and they are the kind of audience you're trying to reach. I hope that makes sense.
Joyce, we're going to sign you up as soon as you get off this chat. You need to be on there. No, we get what you're saying, but you're trying to reach moms who happen to be mom bloggers who might share something with their other mom friends. So now you're reaching moms that you wouldn't have reached because they're not in your circle, they're in their circle. So
Correct. This is Joyce. But from a sponsorship perspective, I don't need other bloggers to do things for me. I'm reaching moms who, my goal is to reach moms, you know, here in Atlanta who may want to go to a place that I mention on my blog or do different things like that. So I don't want my numbers to spike, you know, and I'm, you know, assuming that they would, and it looks like I'm getting all this traffic, and yeah, I may have traffic, but it may not be from the people that my sponsors want to reach, is what I'm saying. All traffic is not good traffic.
I agree with that. Traffic is a cost center. I totally agree with that.
So if I have a targeted audience, I need to, not to say that I don't need to spend time on Triberr. I think it is a great way to connect with other bloggers, but it's not, it may not, it has a potential to, but it may not bring me, in my case, the audience that I'm trying to reach here in Atlanta.
Yeah. I think you can help address that, at least to some extent, by mindfully tribing up with other mom bloggers who have an audience that you are trying to reach, or that they are the audience that you're trying to reach. Which may be, you know, all it is, you know, kind of tribing up in a mindful, purposeful way, which everyone should be doing anyway, but yeah.
So like, let's say, for example, Joyce, you started your tribe that you're targeting bloggers who are in Atlanta. Those bloggers are friends with and have people following them that are moms who might not necessarily be bloggers themselves. Because I have people who follow me on Twitter who are just friends and they don't write. They're moms, they're dads, they're aunts, they're uncles. They're an audience that you might get to through me. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah, it makes sense. I'm just, you know, in my mind, just thinking what would be, like, you know, every tribe might not be the best tribe for me, you know, and even
absolutely.
That's true.
But I think the local tribes, you know, even if it's, you know, someone who might, you know, be an Atlanta tech person, them retweeting something that I do would have more credibility or give me more traffic than, you know, you, Aurelis. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's a local thing, you're in Connecticut. That's here.
Totally right. And that's why we're saying you need to tailor it. So, like, let's say, for example, I wanted to add more people in Connecticut in my tribe. Then I'd maybe put a post in the bonfire and say, I'm looking for Connecticut bloggers. If you're a Connecticut blogger, hit me up. I'll send you an invite.
What is a bonfire? Sorry to ask a dumb question.
It's just a forum It's just a forum where you talk to the entire Triberr community. When we decided to create a forum for our members, which they asked for, and forum's such a like Web 1.0 thing, right? Because it's just a message board, right? We were thinking about forum. Do we have to call it forum? And then we came up with bonfire because it's tribes and humans have gathered around bonfires throughout our development as species. So bonfires it is.
So you would just post a message on a board that says, I'm looking for, Atlanta bloggers. If you haven't been active in it in a while, then you're just not on there. They're not sharing your stuff. They're not even seeing your stuff. So if they still even have you in, because I kick out people out of my tribe who aren't on there for, now it's 30 days, before it was 2 weeks. So if you're not active in my tribe for a month, then someone who's following the tribe. But you can start your own and you can tailor it and you can see who they're following or who's following them to see if they're your target audience that you're trying to reach. So you can tailor it to you. Bye, Brandy. So does anyone have any other questions for Dino before we wrap it up? No, we're good?
Excellent. I'm glad it's been helpful, Joyce. Nice. Cool.
Yeah, play around with it. In the beginning, you kind of just, play with everything. Go down each tab, see what things do. That's pretty much what I did.
Yep. Explore. You can't break anything.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
if you do, they'll fix it.
Yeah, we'll fix it. No big deal. Right? Our goal is to give individuals the kind of distribution that iTunes has, or that Amazon has, or in some ways Google has tremendous distribution. Our goal is to give individuals the kind of content distribution that's only available to these big players, and we do that by enabling you to tap into other individuals like yourself. Right? So it's like a human-based distribution network. You're welcome. You're welcome, Sherry. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. That's kind of the long-term plan.
Yeah. I mean, the site is awesome. If you guys are not on it, then you need to be on it because you're missing out big time.
I didn't pay her to say that.
He didn't, but he can if he wants to.
Excellent. Good to know. Nice.
So, all right, we're going to say goodnight to you, and thank you so much for jumping on with us. You're awesome.
Thank you, guys. This was great.
Good night.
Have a great night.